Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. My name is Tri Sumarsi. I am from Muhammadiyah Gombong University. In this nice occasions, I'd like to share our study related to the psychology changes and self-concept adolescence has given birth premarital in dealing with change of role as a mother. The background and significance. The phenomenon of teenage pregnancy has become a health problem that requires special attention. Based on data from the Indonesian population profile, results show that teenage pregnancies have increased, namely the number of pregnancies vulnerable to the age of 15 to 19 years is 40.1%, and the age group from 16 to 20 years in 2017. According to the Central Java Ministry of Religion report, there were 3,275 underage marriages in 2018. This number increased to 3,863 in 2019. According to data from Banyumas Regency, the number of adolescents who were pregnant with premarital pregnancies was 676, while the number who gave birth was 199 from Kusmasuti 2017. The health issue and problem. Psychological effects on adolescents include feeling of fear, sadness, despair, guilt, shame with their conditions, refusing and avoiding everything about pregnancy. Based on the result of interview with two teenagers who had given birth, the first participant said that they had psychological changes, such as stress, irritability, regret, feeling like a failure as a child, and worried about their new role to build a new family, raise children, provide for and educate children, and take care of children. The second participant was not too far from the first participants. Broadly speaking, both participants experienced changes in psychology and self-concept experienced by participants. Based on research from Novarianto Wijaya Saputra, 2018 relates to adolescents outside of marriage. The result of the study showed that the revealing of two psychological changes in anxiety in pregnant adolescents who experience premarital pregnancy appear confused, afraid, and feel guilty with their parents and feel ashamed of the surrounding environment. The purpose of the study to describe the psychological changes and self-concept carried out by adolescents who face changes in their motherhood as a result of premarital pregnancy. The study focused on adolescents has given birth premarital, maximum age to 21 years old. The research methodology. The research design, the type of research used in this research was qualitative research with a descriptive phenomenological approach. This research was taken in Sumbio Subdistrict, Banyumas District, Central Java Province from June to July 2021. The study used 7 adolescent participants who had given birth to premarital births. The researcher used purposive sampling with semi-site structures interview. And the research instrument, there were interview guide, recorder, field note, and the validity test that has been carried out by credibility, transferability, dependability, and confirmability. The data analysis. The first is determine the outcome of the interview or transcript, mark a significant statement, coding, and the category of data. Data collection procedure. Researcher selected the potential subjects. Researcher made an appointment to meet the participant at Sumbio Subdistrict. Researcher met and introduced herself, asked permission to be eligible participants, explained purpose, benefits, steps of study, then signed informed consent. Data were collected by researcher at the Sumbio Subdistrict, and the process of the study used by in-depth interview method using recorder, and the researcher visited to the participant house. Researchers met with participants 3 to 4 times. The result of the study showed that the presence of pregnancy experienced by participants caused problems where the problems stem from premarital pregnancy, duties as a mother, child, parent, stress, economy, feeling uncomfortable with the family environment itself and husband. Based on the result of the interview, three themes were found, namely the first, the adaptation process of premarital adolescents in the face of changing roles as mothers. The second, psychological changes and adolescent self-concept in dealing with changing role. And the third, about the support system. The first, the process of adaptation of premarital adolescent in the face of changing roles as mothers. The result of this study identifying the adaptations process of adolescents who have given birth have a regretful response until they can accept their new role as mothers. According to the result of the researchers' analysis, the response to being a mother at a young age is influenced by a sense of acceptance of being a mother, satisfactions, partner, environment, especially parents, adolescents who have partner and partners who understand support. The acceptance response will be fast in less than 2 months. The second, psychological changes in adolescent self-concept in the face of changing roles. The result of the study identified the process of psychological change after giving birth to premarital sex, namely the response to stress, fear, irritability, which emerged from the result of interviews related to the process of psychological change. A total of 7 participants said that experienced psychological changes. The psychological changes that are meant here are in the form of emotional disturbances, stress, and embarrassment felt by participants. The responses to change in self-concept. The first one is self-esteem. 7 participants said changes in self-esteem. What is meant here is someone who feels worthless. And the second, about changes in ideal self. A total of 7 participants said that they experienced a disorder of their ideal self. What is meant by idealized self-disorder is a condition where participants cannot fulfill their expectations and desires. And the third is about self-image. A total of 4 participants said that experienced a change. Self-image. What is meant by self-image disturbance is the participant's attitude toward one's body, which includes appearance, potential, physical functions, perception, and feeling toward body size and shape. 4. Self-identity. A total of 6 participants said that they experienced a change in self-identity, which means that self-identity disorder is a form of satisfactions that participants have while carrying out their new roles as mothers. And then number 5, role of self. 7 participants said that they carry out their roles according to their ideals. Number 3, about support system accepted. From main caregiver, from family support, a total of 7 participants said that they received support from their parents. And about acceptance of the community, from social environment, a total of 7 participants said that the community understands the current situations. And the conclusion from the study, the process of adaptation of premarital adolescents in the face of changing roles as mother, according to the participant research, revealed an acceptance process. And the second, psychological changes felt by participants were stress, irritability, and unstable emotion. And the third, the support system that participants get is the most important from the family. And recommendation from the study for further researcher, it should increase the number of participants to dig deeper related to change in psychology and self-concept of adolescents who have given birth to a premarital birth. And the second, for family and social environmental, it is expected to provide support in the form of acceptance, motivation, attention, and reinforcement for women who experience premarital pregnancies and are in the process of facing the role of mothers. And the third, for women who are experiencing pregnancy, realizing the resources that can support to change the positive self-concept. That's all. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.